All right, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the IT Trends and Challenges for Mid-Market Companies in 2025 webinar. My name is Domenica, and I'll be your moderator for today's session. We're thrilled to have you here with us to explore the biggest tech shift impacting mid-sized businesses. And before we dive in, just a housekeeping items. This session is being recorded, and we'll share the recording with you after the webinar. Please feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A box at any time. We'll get to as many as we can during the live Q&A at the end of the session. And we're excited to be joined by our Senior Product Marketing Manager, John Burt, who will lead today's discussion. And with that, John, over to you.
Thanks, Dominica. Greatly appreciate it. Just want to take a moment to say hello to everyone. Thank you for taking time to join this session today as we kind of delve into some very important topics regarding some very relevant IT challenges and trends that are impacting mid-market companies in the IT space. So thank you for joining, and I hope you find the content relevant and applicable to some of the things that you are experiencing right now in the market. So Dominica, next slide, please. So the topics that we're going to explore today, we're going to look at, I'm going to discuss four things. Number one, emerging trends in IT. Two, evolving cyber threats and solutions. IT scalability and cost management. And finally, we'll close out with digital transformation and AI best practices. So before we start, before each section that I'm going to discuss, we're going to kind of have a little interactive audience poll. So if you could, the first audience poll question we have is, what is the biggest challenge your company currently faces when adopting new IT trends? So please, hopefully you should see the poll questions there. So please make your selection and we'll be able to see what the responses are.
All right, so the answer was limited budget or resources, John.
Okay. Yep. And that certainly makes sense, and is not too dissimilar from some of the research that I found in terms of looking at some of the challenges that the biggest challenges that mid-market companies face in terms of up-leveling their IT services. So that absolutely is consistent with what the data is showing. So next slide, please. So let's start by taking a look at current emerging IT trends in the marketplace. So the first one is AI-driven growth and adoption. So AI adoption, is critical because, it's accelerating within mid-market companies for use in everything from customer engagement to supply chain optimization to predictive analytics. So adoption of AI-driven solutions is consistently growing, and many mid-market companies are finding that it is really becoming an operational and competitive differentiator for many companies. AI also helps mid-market companies level the playing field with larger enterprise competitors by really giving way to improved efficiency gains without really having to go and invest a lot in driving or increasing its current workforce. So essentially, the efficiency that AI solutions bring in terms of productivity and efficiency is very important to many mid-market companies. Next slide. Cloud-based solutions are beginning to dominate IT strategies. So many companies now are seeing, understanding the benefits of moving from on-prem to the cloud. And cloud adoption is being used to really to grow the company, but also to provide flexibility, security, and cost management. So these shifts that we're seeing to cloud solutions also is helping to reduce IT infrastructure costs, enable more flexibility relative to remote work, and allows for easy scaling as business needs grow and change. So moving to the cloud has been is a trend that we're seeing that has been showing increase a lot of benefits to mid-market companies, and I think we will continue to see an increase in AI solutions growth and adoption as we move forward in 2025 as well as 2026. Data-driven decision-making will become or will continue to be a competitive advantage. Data and having access to the best data that you can get to help you make decisions quickly and to help you enable mid-market companies to make informed decisions is critical. So having at your disposal real-time analytics helps you to get out in front of potential competitors and drives efficiency gains through that greater and enhanced data visibility. Why is that data visibility and having access to that important? Because without it, mid-market companies risk losing market share to competitors because you don't know, hey, what you need to do relative to new products, new services that you need to bring to market. You don't have visibility to changing customer or market needs. And so you lose that first mover advantage to be able to optimize faster and smarter when you don't have access to those data-driven insights. So having those tools and that information will continue to be critically important for mid-market companies to retain their competitive advantage. Many of you all, I'm sure, have heard and continuing to hear about sustainability and ESG compliance, and that being now a new consideration in terms of business decisions. And so being aware of compliance and sustainability, for business practices will continue to grow as an area that many mid-market companies, depending on what industries you're operating in or what industries your customers are potentially operating in, will be critically important in driving towards or maintaining a competitive advantage will be very important. ESG strategies are also becoming very important in attracting investors and customers, as well as being very important to retaining and attracting employees as well. Sustainability, I think, in many industries is becoming important to buyers and consumers across not only in the United States, but globally. So as organizations think about ways that they can improve energy efficiency and maximize regulatory incentives, keeping sustainability front and center will be also a critical area for that mid-market companies will continue to pay attention to over the next 3 years for sure. So let's take a look at our next audience poll. what is in cybersecurity, of your cybersecurity threat concerns, what is your company concerned with the most? And you'll see the four responses, four possible answers there. So if you could take a look at that poll, please go ahead and respond to one of the using one of those four answers there, and put that in the chat for us, please.
All right, so we have two answers: phishing and social engineering, and insider threats and employee negligence.
All right, yeah. We have heard, like I said, in much of the research that we've done, you often hear about phishing and social engineering being really kind of the threats that are the concerns that many companies are facing. But it's interesting that insider threats was brought up as one of the responses that we receive here, because we have shown that that is actually a growing area of concern, that many companies are facing, that unfortunately there and not so much insider threats, but just employee negligence is increasingly on the rise, and much more of a becoming much more of a concern relative to internal cyber threat. So thanks for those responses. So the next topic area we're going to discuss is evolving cyber threats in solutions. AI-powered cybersecurity for threats and defense is really hot, a hot topic area in cybersecurity right now. As many of you certainly understand, AI and AI-powered cyber security solutions have the benefit of being able to use large amounts of information and data sets to be able to come up with and provide defenses to cyber threats based upon historical data and extrapolation of potential threats due to AI's algorithms. So AI being introduced into cybersecurity and having that available to mid-market companies is very important, primarily for a couple of reasons. One, mid-market companies are often seen as being higher or easier threat targets, because there's an assumption that smaller companies and mid-market companies don't have the resources to have really sophisticated cybersecurity threat detection. So AI helps mid-market companies purchase cybersecurity solutions that help to really level that playing field and give them the same access to cybersecurity solutions and threat detection solutions that will enable them to be less exploitable, and to allow them to have the defenses that they need, even despite resource constraints. So essentially what it does is AI helps to have allow mid-market companies to have at their access many of the same levels of technology from cybersecurity that larger enterprise companies have access to as well. Secondly, the rise of zero trust security models. So I'm sure many of you have heard of zero trust, which is essentially a model where no user or device is automatically trusted, and now this is becoming really kind of a must-have solution to really, instead of being reactive, to be proactive relative to vulnerabilities, particularly in remote work and to cloud. So zero trust, having this protection ensures that only verified users have access to business data, And again, what that does is that it provides now a different level of protection from a proactive sense and being proactive in restricting access as opposed to reacting once a threat has been or breach has been detected. Security awareness training. I think this is continuing to be a priority. If, for mid-market companies, if you aren't really thinking seriously or aren't investing in security awareness training, you are really putting yourself at risk and doing your company a potential, really severe disservice, as human error continues to be the top cause of cyber breaches. A Verizon data breach investigation report, shows 74% of breaches involved a human element, like phishing or poor password practices. So, all that being said, really going in and spending time and being vigilant with your security awareness training is critically important. And the data shows what can potentially happen, the risk if you don't do that. Where a Penniman Institute 2023 study here cites that the average cost is $4.45 million for a cyber attack that your company could potentially have to pay out due to a breach. So a number like that could be devastating and potentially crippling to a smaller mid-market company. So it just absolutely makes sense to focus on cybersecurity, the security awareness training as something that you all are implementing in your cybersecurity portfolio. Our next audience poll question is, what is the biggest roadblock to IT scalability within your organization? So please take a moment and take a look at the 4 choices there, and let us know what your thoughts are in the chat.
All right, I see one answer for insufficient integration across platforms.
Interesting. Yep. And that actually is an important point that is often cited in terms of the integration across multiple platforms, in terms of trying to grow and scale your IT resources or IT tech stack, is often cited as a potential problem, and where really particularly mid-market companies, I think, have trouble in terms of making decisions about what types of IT services they need, from multiple vendors, in terms of how to coordinate that integration and making it such that it is not painful and thwarting the potential gains, efficiency gains, and data insights that could be driven from improved or fast integration. So that's definitely an area of concern. Sure. So let's talk about, let's follow up after the poll question and talk a little bit about IT scalability and cost management. Cloud, as we mentioned earlier, like I said, there's increasing cloud adoption, which we spoke about in terms of adding that flexibility to many companies, mid-market companies, particularly as they migrate from on-prem to the cloud for better flexibility, remote work opportunities, and then just overall efficiency. but optimization of the cost relative to moving to the cloud and management of your cloud resources is very important. Uncontrolled cloud spending is a major challenge for mid-market companies because as it's sometimes can be very difficult to have visibility to your cloud costs in real time. And so as you're continuing to utilize your cloud solution, you can sometimes be unaware of the amount of potential cost that you're taking on by increased usage spikes within your organization. Why is that important? Because go back one slide, please. That's important because unoptimized and wasted cloud spending directly goes to your bottom line and impacts your financial spending, your operational revenues, and then your efficiency as well. So firms where budgets are tight really need to have some type of mechanism where they're able to track their cloud costs or have or utilize a cloud solution that has some degree of really good cost certainty or cost caps that they can easily track and manage. Hybrid and multi-cloud strategies help to reduce risk. So if you're going to be utilizing the cloud and potentially thinking about utilizing a hybrid or multi-cloud strategy, that's a good thing. However, you want to be aware of some of the challenges with that. So let's look at the positive. Yes, on the positive side, relying on a single cloud vendor does create risk of something happening, potentially with downtime or what have you. Whereas on using a multi-cloud strategy gives you the flexibility because you're spreading that risk over multiple vendors, and should something happen with one, you've got redundancy and recovery mechanisms in place with another vendor. Some other benefits of using the hybrid cloud strategy, in addition to improved flexibility and cost optimization, is adaptability. Adaptability in your systems can allow you to be able to move quickly and really give you a competitive advantage depending on what industry you're operating in. So I know initially kind of that initial migration to the cloud and saying, hey, I only want to maybe only want to work with one cloud vendor may seem like it's probably the safe way to go initially, at least at your initial foray in the adoption in the cloud. But you really should be thinking about, even if not at the very onset, but continuing to think about a multi-cloud strategy as your organization's cloud usage and cloud management strategy matures over time. Automation and AI enhance IT scalability. So again, going back to earlier that we discussed kind of the in the emerging IT trends, AI, adoption is growing, but it's growing, like I said, in a way that will those AI powered solutions will help IT operations in reducing downtime and improve overall performance. And the way it will do that is that, again, automating processes, not relying on individuals to manually go in and understand what's happening relative to attacks and breaches and what have you. It will allow, like I said earlier, mid-market companies to be able to have access to tools and resources from their technology stack that will allow you to be agile, have the reliability that you're looking for, and be able to compete with larger enterprise organizations. So you'll be able to scale as your organization needs and have the relative cybersecurity and IT protection that you need to make sure you are keeping your business, your company's data, as well as your customers' data safe. All right, let's go to our next audience poll question. Which area of digital transformation is the highest priority for your company in 2025? So we'll give you all a couple minutes to take a look at the potential responses, and we'll look for your answers in the chat.
All right, so we have automating business processes and improving customer experience through digital tools.
Yes, both very important. One on, like I said, making sure from an internal standpoint in terms of being able to automate business practices so you can become more efficient and get more things done with your people. But improving customer experience for many companies is critically important. Again, so you're thinking not only internally at the benefits of how digital transformation can help you provide the necessary services and grow your business and scale and help your employees be and your teams be more effective. Also creating better opportunities or for engagement relative to your overall customer experience, and customer engagement is an important use case as well. So let's dive in and discuss a little bit about digital transformation and talk about AI best practices. Once again, circling back and discussing AI-driven decision making will continue to be a key driver relative to best practices. This point, like I said, I can't speak to enough, which is the decision making processes and providing companies with data and predictive insights can be really a game changer. Companies that are utilizing solutions that have AI powered capabilities are able to leverage historical data as well as machine learning to get better information to forecast future outcomes. And with those outcomes, be able to understand not only what's happening now, but to be able to forecast and think through how decisions that you make now could potentially impact your decisions or things that you do, potential internal or customer decisions or products that you may bring to market in the future. Can be critically important in terms of you being able to for your organization's growth and being able to stay competitive in the market. So using AI as a growth driver, I believe will continue to really be kind of the number one use case that you see for organizations that will be adopting AI powered solutions. With that, in terms of adopting those solutions, it will be critically important for organizations for firms to make sure they are overcoming any types of potential AI implementation challenges. Three important things that a company really should think about as they are looking for to adopt AI-powered tools or solutions. Number one is data readiness, to make sure that you have data that allows you that the AI solutions can take that data, that the data is clean, the data is relevant, and the data is in a format where AI can utilize it to be able to have data sets that can make the decisions that it needs to give you the level of the outcomes that you're looking for, to make sure you have that data certainty. That becomes critically important with the AI outcomes and the deliverables that you see by utilizing the tool. Strategy alignment. What that means is that, hey, you've got the data that's ready, you presented it. The AI is going to be taking that data and putting it into its systems and analyzing it. But how are you going to be utilizing these tools for strategy development and strategy execution? So understanding that internally and coming to that alignment within your C-suite and within the users of your AI technology will also be very important. And then finally is making sure that your workforce is trained in how to use these AI solutions and how to best incorporate them into their current workflows. That's very important, as well as, again, how much the data readiness and the strategy will only go as far as the capabilities and the readiness of your workforce, who has to utilize and execute on the tools that are made available to them. So potential risk there is that if those three things, the data readiness, strategy alignment, and workforce training, aren't done, then you potentially risk the implementation of your AI solutions not giving you the return on investment that you're looking for, and really could potentially become, instead of a benefit, a cost to you because of it not being utilized in the best way. So implementation relative to AI is really just as important as the adoption. Cloud-based AI solutions can offer quick wins if implemented the right way. So as we think about this progression, kind of in this, AI, what I like to kind of call this AI life cycle, there's the adoption, there's the implementation, and then if the implementation is done correctly, you then can see, particularly within the cloud, very quick wins and see very tangible, quick and tangible results. This can be shown in the way of, fast deployment of new applications and being able to respond quickly to competitor and market changes, as well as internal changes in capacity needs or needs of your internal teams as well. And this can also be done with very small IT teams, so that you aren't having to go out and invest more in IT infrastructure or growing your workforce. So these quick wins, I think, can be a game changer and very important to mid-market firms. So as we wrap up here, let me just talk about three top lessons or takeaways that can be learned from this discussion. Number one, AI and cloud adoption are no longer becoming optional. They're business critical. So the thought around AI, it's not just kind of a fad. It's not really something that people are just throwing out as really kind of a new term or something new and sexy to talk about. They're becoming business critical for many organizations. And so adoption for mid-market companies needs to be something, if you already aren't thinking about it, you should be thinking about it. Secondly, security risks are increasing and evolving in terms of their frequency and complexity. So firms must now have the resource and be able to have tools at their disposal that make you proactive and not reactive. And then finally, scalability and cost efficiency. So while you want to adopt AI, it's a bit of business critical need. You want to be have these tools so that you can be proactive and protect yourself from a security standpoint. We also know and understand that limited resources require you that when you're making these decisions, you want to think about scalability and think about cost efficiency. So having the right tools for the right level of, for the right size of your organization at the right time of your organization's maturity will help to determine your organization's long-term success. So let's talk a little bit about the three ways that Claro Enterprise Solutions can help. Go back just one slide, please. So three ways that Claro can help mid-market companies. One, we have a suite of AI-powered cybersecurity products within our MDR and security awareness training that are both have AI-powered functionality and capability. So we have solutions that can help you relative to meeting those cybersecurity threats and being proactive and getting the right tools and security awareness training that your team needs to be able to see, understand, and detect possible threats while utilizing your tech stack. We also have scalable cloud solutions that meet you wherever you are in your cloud journey. So whether it be a multi-cloud strategy through cloud adoption or migration, we have a suite of solutions within our cloud portfolio to be able to meet wherever you are in your journey and have a solution that we can design for your particular organization's needs and where you are from the standpoint of your business's cloud journey. And then finally, we offer managed services that enable you to do more with less. If you have a small team, IT staff, or are unable really to scale or don't have the expertise that you need to be able to really kind of feel safe and secure in terms of and understanding the tools and services that you need to protect your organization, we can do that through our managed service. We have some of the best experts in the market that provide that service. We have multilingual 24/7 service and are able to come in and take that and shoulder those responsibilities for you as a managed service, which will free up your limited IT resources to handle other things and to meet the more maybe high visibility needs within your organization. So now we will move to Q&A. And we'll take, Dominica, we'll take those questions in the chat, please.
All right. Let me go back. All right, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty. I'm not able to see the Q&A chat for some reason.
Okay.
But I don't know, John, if you want to step in and answer some typical questions that relate to this topic.
Sure. So one question that we have is that many mid-market companies want to leverage AI but worry about implementation, complexity. So what are some, practical first steps for companies looking to integrate AI without, committing to the massive infrastructure, changes? So, the first step, small step would be to focus on, the AI use cases that, are going to deliver, the most impactful business value. Many cloud-based AI services, like, AI-driven, chatbots, or predictive analytics and excuse me, intelligent automation tools. They really don't require don't require a lot of investment in infrastructure or infrastructure changes. So, businesses can, leverage AI powered solutions, which, can, sometimes can come in. There are solutions out there that are, easily easily able to use to stand those up. And because I don't like to often use the word plug and play, because many of these capabilities are not quite plug and play, but easily able to be stood up without a large upfront investment. So I know at Claro we have we're able to take some of our solutions that particularly in our cybersecurity, IoT and cloud solutions, and be able to utilize those AI powered solutions to be able to come in and scale with an organization that's looking to leverage AI within within those types of IT or tech solutions. So that's one example or one question that we often receive or hear that many mid-market companies often speak to.
Great, John. Thank you for that. And with that, I'm not entirely okay. Sorry about that. We have 2 more slides for next steps.
Yeah, so let's talk about again, we're going to talk about takeaways. Let's close with a couple next steps. So first suggestion that I would have is for your organization is to conduct an IT assessment and identify any gaps that you may have within your organization. The action you should really be going forward and moving forward with is, perform, if you haven't done it, perform an internal IT audit to assess your risk exposure, and potentially, what type of cost you would maybe undertake relative to moving to the cloud. And if you're considering AI, what your AI readiness is, and what potential challenges you might have if you're thinking not just today, but any possible future thoughts around scalability that you might have. That this type of analysis and assessment is critically important, because really not really clearly understanding what your current what your current status is relative to many of these areas could potentially have you making decisions and committing resources to things that really don't quite fit with where you are relative to your organization's IT maturity is, within your organization, and where your capabilities are and where you're thinking of going. So identifying these gaps helps you prioritize which improvements you need to make first, and to what level, size, and scope. How do you do that? Evaluate your cybersecurity frameworks that you're using. Example, do you have a zero trust model? Are you utilizing on a consistent basis security awareness training? If you're utilizing the cloud now, look at your cloud usage and understand your optimization. And then finally, if you are thinking about AI think about what areas where you could be improving efficiency in some of your more critical or more important operational areas like customer service or data analytics, or just overall corporate automation. And then secondly, you want to make sure after you do that assessment, if I don't reiterate this enough, please give some attention to and think about strengthening your cybersecurity footprint with a zero trust approach. Zero trust, like I said, requires you use, if you aren't using this, these are really best practices, using a multi-factor authentication, endpoint security, and security training as really kind of your solution stack to be able to reduce cyber risks. This is, like I said, is going to be really kind of the baseline security stack that you need to keep your company vigilant against cyber risk that I spoke about earlier, and keeping and reducing the possibility that you could be one of the victims of a ransomware attack that could be extremely costly. So how do you get started with that? Require that you utilize multi-factor authentication for all employees assessing company systems. Deploy AI-driven threat protection, and conduct at a minimum quarterly security awareness training to make sure your employees stay abreast of all of the current knowledge to help ward off threats like phishing and social engineering. So I want to close by saying thank you again for taking the time to come and listen to thoughts around these IT challenges and threats that are facing mid-market companies for 2025. I hope this information was beneficial to you, and if nothing else, helps you to begin to think about some of the things and best practices that you and your organization might need to deliberate on and give some thought to as you're continuing your to do the things that you need to do to protect your organization, to adopt AI technology, and to be able to make your company more efficient and overall provide a better IT tech stack within your organization that supports your current and future needs. So again, thank you for your time, and we look forward to hearing from you real soon.